Hey guys, today I am bringing you Underground, UnderEarther, Cave Blast, Cave Game, whatever you want to call it. I have some news. So basically, I've come back to it, and now I'm a much more experienced programmer than I was when I started this project, and I'm looking at the code base, and it looks terrible. So basically, what I've done is that I've decided to rewrite most of it. And yeah, let me show you what I've done so far. So, I've added collision, so now if I hit a wall, I'm not like bouncing back and forth. I've also added some proper terrain generation. And I've also added a chunk system, so I can theoretically have just infinite terrain. It's not infinite yet, but it is chunked up, and yeah, that makes it easier for world generation. I've also put everything into sort of like these like little like I've moved on to something. I've moved on to object-oriented programming and just full on C++. Before I was kind of skirting C++. I'd use a little bit of it, but not really. But now I'm using full-blown C++ with all its features like vectors and stuff. So I moved on to that, and I'm pretty happy with what I've done so far. There are some weird bugs, like this is just randomly colliding here, which is strange, but yeah, there's a couple things I gotta figure out, fix some bugs and stuff. But yeah, I'm quite proud of what I've done so far. I've also added, like, I made it so items are no longer hard-coded. You can edit them in a JSON file, and it loads it up, and it uses a hash map, so you can just look up the item name and it's not going to tank the performance. Another thing I've done is that I've done like full-on multiplayer. So if I load this up here, I have several arguments, so I can pass the port, and by default it's 8080, and everything's on default right now. By default it's also server, so I have to set that to 0, and then I'll do the IP, which by default is local host, and then I'll add the name. I'll just do Lugerstone. And yeah, now I have like multiplayer. Let me just close that. So yeah, let me find myself here. So yeah, I also added like smoothing, so that like even if like the connection is unstable, it's not going to be all jittery and stuff. So yeah, that's a plus. Yeah. This took a while, and this would have been impossible to implement in the old version. There's not currently a way to run a server in headless mode, but I will add that eventually. And this works, so if you just port forward it, it will work properly. So yeah, and I can do like, can update blocks and stuff. I've also added an inventory, and you can actually control it with both your cursor and also your some keys here. Also, in the code base, I've also made it possible to change the keybinds and stuff, so I'll be adding a keybind config later and a keybind menu. So yeah, that's basically what I've gotten to, and yeah, quite proud of it. I hope you guys like it, and yeah, see you guys later.